Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Real Madrid against Getafe at the Bernabeu. It is a late Monday night kickoff for Real Madrid. We don't actually usually have these, but obviously Real Madrid are not really um, in many competitions left. We're out of the Copa del Rey. The Champions League isn't back until next week. So um, there is obviously more time left for us in our schedule. And we are playing late. We're playing late. Obviously, I think every other team apart from us and Getafe have already played. And we know what the sort of results in the table are. So Barcelona won quite convincingly, as you would expect. They beat Villarreal. I was a little bit disappointed that Villarreal didn't put up more of a fight, but then again, I think they are massively overperforming and overachieving this season so far. And they are now down to fourth because Atletico Madrid have won their game, so they're up to third. Barcelona won, so that means they go back 4 points clear. Real Madrid need to win to remain in sight, just 1 point behind. Hopefully, we can do it. But the sort of repercussions of that is we need to win. And I think whether Barcelona had won or not, we need to win. And we're at home. Getafe are such a tough team to play against. I'm sure you have heard many people talk about it before. Bordelas, how he sets up, how he plays, how he sees the game is very unique. I don't think I've ever seen anyone set up the way he has. But, and here's a big but, we are at home. We are at the Bernabeu, right? We have just beaten Benfica last week, and in La Liga, it was a terrible display away at Osasuna last weekend. We need to bounce back because we are dropping too many points, and ultimately, I'm gonna say this every single preview and review and news video from now until the last game. I'm gonna take it game by game, and these are the kind of games that if you don't win, even if you draw, you're out of the title race. You're out of it because I just see no way back. And even if we win, I don't have hope that we'll win it. But at least we are still mathematically just 1 point behind. But if you're 3 points or even 4 points behind, right now, forget about it. And yeah, like I said, we have to win. It's such a big game. Every game now is a big game. And these are the kind of games you have to win. And to sort of keep myself in it, even if we're not going to win it after 38 games, and it looks very unlikely we will. Even if we don't win it in the end, right now we cannot look at what's going to happen in 2-3 months time. We have to look at what's going on right now, and it's about winning what's in front of you. Getafe, in terms of how they play away, because I just want to bring that up. Their last away game wasn't, so they went away to Alaves and won, but to be fair, Alaves are in a sort of relegation zone. They went away to Girona, they drew. They went away to Rayo Vallecano, they drew. They went away to Real Betis at the end of December, and they lost 4-0. So they haven't really played many games in the new year. I don't really want to go back so far back because we'll be going back to the likes of, the Copa del Rey round of 32 when they lost to Burgos, the early start of December when they lost 2-0 to Villarreal. Like, I don't want to go back so far. If we're talking lately, they've won against Alaves, they drew a couple, but they haven't really played against, many top half of the table sides. Have they? Let me just have a look. Not really. No, they played Girona. They are 12th. They played Rayo Vallecano. They are 15th, and they played Alaves, who are 16th, and they themselves, Getafe, are 14th. So, they've played teams around them, and they've picked up some good results for them. But they haven't really been tested away from home this year, the start of the new year yet. So yeah, this will be a huge test for them. I think I said this in the last game, so I'm not gonna say it. Actually, I'm just gonna say it. I said against Osasuna, our record away at Osasuna was good and we lost, but our record against Getafe at home should be pretty decent. I haven't looked up at the head-to-head over the past couple of years, but it should be pretty good. So I'm not gonna say I'm confident because I'm not, but I'm just gonna come in here and say, look, we have to win. We there's no other questions about it. I do look at this Getafe set. They've got some good players. Borja Mayoral, he's coming back to the Bernabeu. Uche, um, he's not at the club anymore. I don't know why Google have him there. Um, they've got Jenny at the back. They've got Luis Mia. Um, I really like Luis Mia actually. You know, they've also got they've got Mario Martin as well, who's also from us. He's out on loan at Getafe at the moment, and they've got some other good players as well. They've got Adrian Liso in there. David Soria, I think he's a very underrated keeper. He's been over the past 4 or 5 years now. Really solid goalkeeper. Yeah, they've got some really good players, but I don't think it should be anywhere near enough to win against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. And I'm thinking this actually, if if we compare every team based on squads, where would Getafe finish? I think 14th is a really reasonable placing. I don't think they are in the top half. They've got good players, but I don't think it's top 10 worthy. And I don't think it's bottom 5 as well. So I think it's sort of in and around the 14th, 15th, maybe 13th, that sort of spot. It is obviously a really interesting thinking if you think about it. But yeah, Real Madrid should be winning that. Now, how would I line up, or sort of how? Yeah, I'm gonna call it how I will line up with what I have. Look, Arbeloa is not gonna line up this way because he's gonna play Arda Güler in the front three, and he's also going to bring Kamavinga in. That's very certain. But I'm gonna keep going against it, and I'm gonna keep saying Mastantuono has to start because I think that brings more balance to the team. And you're gonna say I'm a glazer of Mastantuono. Go ahead. I do really like Mastantuono. I like him as a player, and so far you cannot tell me that when Mastantuono is playing, we don't play better most times. Like there are games where Mastantuono starts and we don't play well, but most times and more often than not, we play better than he when he starts. So I'm just gonna say that. But goalkeeper, it's Thibaut Courtois. Yeah, easy. He's just gonna be a mainstay now. I did read a bit of I think it was a news. I forgot who it was, but someone was saying that when Courtois leaves, it's gonna be a huge concern, and I absolutely agree. But until then, which hopefully isn't after a couple of years more, we don't need to think about that until he chooses to do it. But there are some sort of questions and doubts whether he will stay for long. I think he'll probably stay for another 2 years maybe, but it obviously depends how we do because this man, this man needs a statue. He is the only player I genuinely believe, not even Mbappe. He is the only player across every game this season. I give a clean slate. I say he gets no blame, no slander whatsoever. Thibaut Courtois needs a statue. For the past couple of years, what he has done, he needs a statue. Period. But hopefully he stays, and he's already a legend, right? He's already a legend. No one needs to ask and question anymore. Whatever happens this season and next season and the season after, and whenever he chooses to leave, he will forever be a Real Madrid legend, hands down. Left back Carreras, easy. Now centre backs, Militao still out. Asensio, obviously that really nasty neck injury he got. He's gonna be out for a while. And Dean Huijsen, I believe, is still not fully fit. And I believe the only centre backs we have fit and ready is Alaba and Rudiger, so they will start. Do I want to see David Alaba play? No, but at least we're at home, and at least we're going back to the old days, right? With Alaba, Rudiger, although they never really tend to play together too many times. It's always been Alaba and Militao or Rudiger and Militao, but they have played together before, and I thought that they were decent in terms of who we have as at the club. And if I had to pick up a pairing, I think Rudiger and Militao might just be the best we have, and then I would say maybe Huijsen and Militao actually, because I really like that. I think Huijsen and Rudiger are pretty good, but below those three, I would say the next good is Alaba and Rudiger. Really, I think the experience they have, I don't think you can put, Asensio with any of the other pairings. Maybe Asensio and Rudiger, but not for me. And I don't think you can put Huijsen and Alaba or something like that. I just think you need to either go with Huijsen and Rudiger or Militao, or Rudiger and Militao, or Rudiger and Alaba for me as a pairing. Right back, I've gone Trent. I just don't see a reason to start him. We need to look forward. Dani Carvajal may or may not leave at the end of the season, but regardless whether he stays, his minutes are going to continue to drop. And Trent is the future. That's what he's been brought in for. And I think that mistake Arbeloa made, I think, was not to start Trent against Osasuna. And maybe he's not fit, 100% fit. Maybe he's not 100% ready to start every game. But we need to slowly build him towards that player, because we've got big games. Every game is a big game. And if you're going to be missing a couple here and there, it's not going to be good. Midfield, like I said, Chouameni, the holding, Valverde next to him, and I've gone Goulet. I don't want to see Camavinga because there's not enough creativity and, forward thinking enough of a midfield, and you're playing Goulet on the right. Nah. I'm going to keep saying this. Right wing, Masantuono. I'm going to keep saying this every video. Striker, I think Gonzalo Garcia is going to play up front. And Mbappe is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I think he will miss the first leg against Man City. But Rodrigo's back, so, fear not. And I think in terms of the other options we have, it's not many up front. And I would say Vini Jr. on the left. He's been playing really well lately as well. But at least in the attack, we've got Vini, we've got Rodrigo, Gonzalo Garcia, I think Prime Diaz, and Masantuono should be the 5 attacking options we have. I'm recording this before the squad list has been announced, because for this game specifically, the squad list is going to be announced on match day, which is kind of crazy. So currently no intel on that, but yeah, that'll be it. Score predictions, I'm going to go Real Madrid 3, Getafe 1. Let me know what yours is down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit that state, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.